To discuss the labour codes further, we have with us T. N. Hari, Head of Human Resources at Big Basket, and Lohit Bhatia, President at the Indian Staffing Federation. And joining us now for this discussion is my colleague Mugdha Warrior. Mugdha, over to you.
Let me bring in Lohit here. Lohit, Hari also did mention that there will be some additional costs and companies will have to figure out how to make their models more efficient. Do you think this contribution being asked from aggregators is fair? And overall, do you see this fund putting gig workers on par with full-time employees when it comes to benefits and social security?
So let's take that in two parts, Mukta. I think Hari raises an important point, but we should see where we have come from. In the 90s, when we did those spate of reforms and everything, we only solved for the white-collar worker or our knowledge worker or our services sector. And we've seen the boom in the last 30 years and the benefits of that to the economy and to the people and to the, the whole employment. However, even today in 2020, and we've seen what happened in the pandemic, 15% of India is only in a formal employment. 85% of India continues to remain informal. Now, if you break up the maths of that 85%, a big portion is with MSMEs, which Hari also touched upon. The second big portion is, the daily wages and the migrant workers. The third big portion is our domestic workers. And then there is construction, goods and transportation sector. But then there is this jump which has happened in the economy that some of these or some of the parts of these have gone and jumped to become employees of platforms, or as we call them as gig workers, have become gig workers, right? The difference is that in every other aspect of the economy, whether it's your permanent employee, temporary employee, staffing employee, you have some form of social security. People not just earn for today, but they also earn for tomorrow. They leave something back for their families. God forbid the person is no longer present there, or at the time of retirement, which is 58. Now, when the whole economy is transitioning towards online and towards gig, there has to be some shape or form of protection. But the question is how much? I think Hari rightly pointed out that the law was definitely required. Indian Staffing Federation itself, as a group of staffing companies, have been doing this for 5 years with the government. The question is how much? I think that is the point that we have to really deliberate.
All right. Lohit, just one last question quickly, and even Hari mentioned this about the easier retrenchment and layoffs for companies which have employees up to 300. Will that really make it easier for startups and MSMEs now going forward? And quickly in 30 seconds, please.
Mugdha, absolutely. It will make a huge difference. The thousands of laws that we wrote, they just made the legislation and the regulation very, very tough. And that prevented the entrepreneurs from adding more jobs in the front line, in the blue or the grey collar. According to us, with that regulation easing off, the entrepreneur spirit will come forward. People will invest more. They'll invest in frontline workers, in grey and blue collar workers. And that is what is the collective, benefit of having the employee collective wisdom here.
Okay, Lohit. Thank you so much. This discussion can really go on, but Hari and Lohit, thank you so much for joining us. With that, it's over to you, Shruti.